What's up, and good morning. Before we get into this past weekend's ACC football slate, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you do not like what I had to say, just comment anyway, because at any of it, you'll be glad you did, and I'll be glad you did. Also, check out my website, www.theclowntimes.net. That's clown spelled with K. And speaking of the hat, get the merch at cafepress.com. Search for Clown Time Sports. You'll find it there as well. And I have that link in the description once this gets uploaded to YouTube. Okay. This is a good big weekend in ACC football. The first time it seemed like forever that we had a top 10 matchup in the ACC. So we'll start there, man. We'll start with Clemson, number 5, Clemson, taking down my beloved 10th ranked Wolfpack, 30-20. Now, one thing is I'm impressed with my NC State Wolfpack because we hung in there. I know there's no such thing as more victories in sports, but we showed up. I'll give Dave Doran's squad this. We showed up in prime time. It's just that Clemson remind us why they're Clemson and we're everybody else. So basically, DJ Ugalele, excuse me, he had a decent game, 21 of 30 for 209 yards and a touchdown. He also was the leading rusher with 14 carries and 73 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he literally carried the show for Clemson Tigers. So for those of you who still have questions about this young man, DJU is the guy. Plain simple. He is the guy until otherwise known. Devin Leary, he did okay. I mean, he wasn't too efficient to 28 of 47 passes. Just 245 yards, a touchdown, and interception. We didn't get much of a running game as well. Leading rusher had only 30 yards on the ground. Look, it's just that Clemson is better. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's no shame for my beloved Wolfpack to lose by 10 on the road to a Clemson team who I think will be in the college football playoff when it's all said and done. So it's not nothing to worry about. But I will say this. Well, actually, I'll get to my second part when I break down Wake Forest and Florida State. How about that game? Right. I thought that Wake Forest was essentially going to get beat by Clemson twice, after the heartbreaking loss two weeks ago in overtime. Then, going on the road against I thought it was a damn good Florida. Still think it's a damn good Florida State team. I thought that Wake Forest would get taken to the woodshed. I thought this was going to be a woodshed game in Florida State's favor. I thought Florida State was going to use this moment on national television in the mid-afternoon game at ABC to announce that their return. I was wrong. Wake Forest came in there and just dominated. The final score is not indicative on how dominant Wake Forest was in this game. 31-21. They were up 21-7 at halftime. After Florida State, they scored first. Wake Forest just took the game over from there. But I would say this, man. Wake Forest is so well coached. Dave Clawson is a hell of a coach. To take this program, this Wake Forest program, one of the smallest, if not the smallest Power 5 school in the country in terms of enrollment, to take them, I mean, they're like 4-1, and they are still in the conversation, really, in the ACC Atlantic Division. It's just great. I mean, I'm impressed with Dave Clawson. I really am. I mean, Sam Hartman, 22, 34, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Travis had a decent game, had a good game for Florida State, 23 at 35, 281 yards, 3 touchdowns. One thing that I felt won the game for us was the running game. Justice Ellis had 114 yards, 18 carries on 18 carries and a touchdown. And, they just came in, just smacked Florida State, punched them in the mouth, and didn't let up. And I'll say this. I was getting to where I was about to get to earlier. I was talking about Clemson. This is a time where I'm glad that the ACC will do away with divisions because it's clearly, and I know all things are cyclical in college sports, but clearly the strongest part of the conference lies in the Atlantic Division. I mean, you have, I think, 4 squads. Yeah, let's see. Clemson, NC State, Wake Forest, Syracuse. 4 squads from the ACC, all from the Atlantic Division. And frankly, those four, and I'll throw Florida State in there, those five squads in the Atlantic Division would take out any team in the Coastal. The Coastal is terrible. It's flat out terrible. Okay. So I'm glad that we're doing away with divisions next year. Too bad it wasn't this year, but at least they're doing it next year because if it's done away with this year, you still have the possibility of a rematch. Clemson AC State, Clemson Wake Forest, maybe Clemson Syracuse, or maybe Clemson Florida State. Who knows? But it'll go on a lot more attention. It'll be a hell of a lot more competitive than if one of those, even one of those squads, take on like North Carolina, who can score on anybody but couldn't stop me on defense. So it's just simple as that. And might as well just get to it. We're talking about the Coastal. And before I get to the Coastal and clown them, let's share my sponsor, give props to my sponsors, BetUS.com. So let's start sports bettors. Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for our 20th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all of your favorite sports, NFL, UFC, and MLB. So if you're looking for live in-game betting, incredible odds with daily odds boosters, props, and parlays, you got it. And how about fast payouts for exceptional one-on-one customer service? We got that too. So long as at BETUS.com or call 800-792-3887. That's 800-79-BET-US. Also use a promo code TKT for the call times. BetUS.com where the game begins. All right, back to that sorry-ass Coastal Division. Pitt was the only weak-ranked squad headed into this weekend, and as a result, they're now a weak squad because they lost 26-21 to Georgia Tech, who just fired the head coach Jeff College and their athletic director, I almost called him general manager, Todd Stansberry, at home on ACC Network. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Man, I'll tell you what. I don't bag on college kids. At least I try not to too much. But Keaton Slovis, he's not that guy. I'm sorry. He seems to be a nice kid, but he's not that guy. 26 of 45, 305 yards, 3 touchdowns. A lot of that came in garbage time. It just goes to show you how special Kenny Pickett was to that program. I mean, it's just wow. Wow, losing to Georgia Tech without their head coach at home, prime time. Not a good look, Pitt. Not a good look. And I'll say this, man. After those days, after Saturday's like results, what happened with Carolina and Virginia Tech as well as Duke and Virginia, could it be that the Coastal Division will come down to UNC and Duke? Who had that in the bingo cards like before the season began? Who had that? The two basketball schools possibly be the best two teams in the Coastal Division. Man, it's crazy. And by the way, shout out to Duke for their good start. They're 4-1. Could easily be 5-0. And you know they're looking really good under Mike Elko, first-year head coach, former defensive coordinator from Texas A&M, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, gotta give props to those damn Tar Heels too. The defense finally showed up. Granted, it was against Virginia Tech, who's awful on offense, but still, 41-10 in conference play is 41-10 in conference play. So props to them, and look for them to beat down Miami this week. Look for them to beat down Miami. Miami's just a disappointment. I really am a big fan of Mario Cristobal, but I don't see heaven for Miami this year. But give Cristobal time. He's going to get that bad boy turned around. He's going to clean the not clean the program, but because they're not on probation or anything. The point is, I have faith that he'll get the program in the right direction. Just won't be this year. All right, that's about it for ACC this week. We'll preview the games for week 6 later on in the week. So thanks again for checking me out. Hopefully I did better this week than I did last week. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Check out our website, www.theclowntimes.net. That's clown spelled with K. Check out the merch at KenForPress.com, search for Clown Time Sports. Links will be in the description below. Till next time, take care. Peace out.